From the Weather NorCal Command Center, this is your afternoon update.
When getting the job done right is job one, you need construction equipment that's built right. With durable Kubota engines, more comfort, and the versatility to do it all. You need the Kubota construction lineup. Right now, bring home the new U48.5 excavator for 0 down, 0% APR for up to 36 months or save up to $2,300.
Tractors, RTV, construction equipment. You do it all, we do it local.
Well, happy Friday to you all. Hopefully you're watching here after watching this morning, because there certainly are some changes, not only to the immediate forecast, but also to the long range, which we'll get into all that here in a second. But we do have a chance for showers and thunderstorms today, especially this evening, tonight, and through the day on Saturday. Snow levels with the storm system coming in on Saturday are going to be dropping, especially late in the day, probably more like Saturday night into Sunday morning. Get into that here in a little bit as well. But next week, looking fairly dry and mild for the most part. Again, a lot to talk about here. So this right here, this spin, this has been the main area of low pressure that's been impacting our weather all week long, giving us the mostly cloudy skies, some showers out there as well. And now it's finally beginning to push in our direction. So what we're going to see here is, you can see this little comma shape. This is a classic storm setting itself up. It's going to be moving in this direction, and that is when we start to see those showers and thunderstorms move in. Now behind that, on its heels, is this right here. That is what's coming in on Saturday, and is going to bring us even more activity. So you'll see that here all spelled out on Futurecast. Here's today at 3 p.m. Not a lot of activity. We may see some activity in the eastern mountains and maybe parts of Humboldt County. But otherwise, we're not seeing much activity developing here in the mid-afternoon hours. Now, late afternoon, early evening, we begin to see the first push of heavier precipitation making its way probably around the Chico area, Oroville, and you can see some activity in the eastern mountains making its way into Siskiyou County, and not to mention along the coast. Then this continues to push northward. Now we could see some periods of moderate to heavy rainfall, could see some small hail, and not to mention some lightning strikes in there as well. Now with some of this heavier rainfall, we've also got to watch for the potential for some minor flooding in some areas, depending on how long some of these storms stick around. And on top of that, some of the burn-scarred areas are areas of concern as well. This snow, of course, is last in peak, so still fairly high snow levels with this first push of moisture. Now, midnight tonight, still a chance for showers, and even some thunderstorms are in the forecast here later on late tonight. Now look at this. We got another push coming in Saturday morning at 6 a.m. tomorrow morning. So you see all the moisture coming in, could hear some rumbles of thunder, periods of moderate to heavy rainfall. And then we take you into noon on Saturday. Now, we're beginning to see the storm system that's been impacting our weather this week. It's beginning to move out. And we're going to start watching more activity coming in from the north and west. But still, a lot of activity out there, even in the noon hour. Now, honestly, when I look at this, I think Futurecast might be overdoing it as far as the overall intensity. But that being said, we've got this activity moving through, and it's going to bring us rain, possibility for some thunderstorms, and you can see some of the snow. Now, snow behind the main cold front, which is still right about here, so you'll notice this is all rain because it's still fairly warm, but this is the cold front, and behind it is where we start seeing more of that snow begin to move in. So 8 o'clock Saturday night, you see how that snow is really kind of getting close to Mount Shasta City. Now, Mount Shasta City is about 3,500 feet. Snow levels on average are expected to be around 4,000 feet, but we could certainly see some snow around Mount Shasta. And this is when we got to start thinking about chain requirements and the road conditions out there. So some of those higher mountain passes, you definitely want to keep a close eye on that if you are going to be traveling Saturday night into Sunday morning. Now here's the cold front moving through the eastern mountains in Modoc County. So some of that colder air moving in. Look at that. I think El Turas could be looking at some accumulating snow. Not a ton, but I think you're going to see some accumulating snow out there. And again, you see how we're seeing some of that getting closer to Mount Shasta as well, and Wairika, up near Doris as well. So we'll have to watch for that potential. So this is the main area where we've got to really be concerned about any kind of travel delays due to chain requirements. Then we go into 6 a.m. on Sunday. Things are beginning to taper off, but still a few snow flurries out there. And then it's completely dry by Sunday afternoon, Sunday night, And then this is when we expect drier conditions in the long range. But looking at some of the forecast rain totals, it's picking up. Now, these totals are not going to be exact locations with the exact amount of rainfall. With that said, there are going to be areas that will see a lot more than others. Just depends on where some of those heavier showers do move overhead. But that all being said, still a chance for rain for everyone and measurable rainfall at that. Now, this looks like a lot of snow as well, but keep in mind, a lot of these pinks here, which is 12 feet, 12 inches or more, that's going to be over some of the highest of elevations. But places like El Turris, maybe some light accumulating snow out there. Slight chance for some accumulating snow even from Mount Shasta City as well. But again, we're going to have to keep a close eye on those road conditions Saturday night and Sunday morning if you're going to be traveling. There you can see Sunday 5 p.m. Let's take you to the long range. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. This is where things get interesting. Because as we go into Thanksgiving Day, check this out. Here's Thanksgiving Day, 6 a.m. You see this cold front passing through? We're talking about some snow again for some of the higher elevations, including maybe El Turris as we go into Thursday morning. So Wednesday evening, Thursday morning, a weak front will pass through, bringing the potential for some precipitation out there, and then it moves on out of here as we go into Friday, Saturday. Now that's important because if you're traveling the day before Thanksgiving, you're fine. If you're traveling on Thanksgiving Day in that particular area, you may run into some problems with snow. But then as we go into Friday, Saturday, of course, a couple of days after Thanksgiving, you're going to be okay up and down the coast. Now, keep in mind, this is a long range that we're looking at. We're looking out many days here, and that could change by the time you get to Thanksgiving Day. So keep a close eye on that forecast if you do have travel plans on Thanksgiving Day. Your wave heights for the rest of the day today and going into tomorrow, you see how they are increasing with that approaching storm system on Saturday. So today, here's what I've done. I've got the chance for thunderstorms where we saw them coming in this afternoon, and not to mention in the eastern mountains. For now, I'm holding off until this evening and tonight before the valley starts seeing any of those showers or thunderstorms moving into Chico first, then working its way northward into places like Red Bluff and Redding. So, chance for thunderstorms tonight, as well as El Turris, Susanville. You could see some afternoon, mid to late afternoon thunderstorms popping in. Saturday, chance for thunderstorms across the board here. We may even see some snowflakes in Mount Shasta late Saturday night into Sunday morning. And then Sunday, it's dry, and it's dry through most of next week. Because again, Wednesday, Mount Shasta, you may see some showers. Thanksgiving Day, most likely dry, but maybe some snow making its way Thursday morning for El Turris. I don't think it's going to reach quite as far south as Susanville, but again, this is something we're going to have to really watch closely. For the valley, thunderstorms later on tonight, although maybe by late afternoon we see some of those in Chico, and then they're working their way northward into Red Bluff and Redding. Chance for thunderstorms through the day on Saturday, and then dry Sunday all the way through Thursday. We'll have to watch that system moving through Wednesday into Thursday. That may also bring some light rain for parts of the valley as well, but of course, no guarantees at this point. There's a look at your 7-day outlook for the coast. Chance for thunderstorms this afternoon, especially in central and southern Humboldt County. Otherwise, the inland areas and Trinity County looking at thunderstorms later on tonight and not to mention tomorrow. And then it looks like we'll dry things out for Sunday through Tuesday. I do have that chance for showers here for Wednesday, especially along the coast, and not to mention the inland areas. But overall, it does not look like it's going to be a very big storm, by the way. It's mainly, as we go into tonight and tomorrow, that we got to keep a close eye on that chance for thunderstorms and some of the downpours that some of us could see.